And we have commenced this recording, so I hope that you are ready. Welcome to another episode of Nightmare Road. Of course, I am one of your hosts, Decon, here with the Queen of Tex-Mex.
She's not here.
No, the one that took the mantle after. Laura Slasher.
Okay. All right.
So
let's not do that.
What?
Nothing.
You don't consider yourself Tex-Mex queen? No, not at all. All right. Well,
No.
whatever. So today's topic, we're going to talk about the actual Tex-Mex queen, and that is Jennifer Lopez.
Okay.
You know, Jennifer Lopez, she is from, this small neighborhood. She's actually from this house that no one knows who the hell she is. Do you remember that video?
Yeah, I do remember
What
that.
the hell do you think she was trying to prove when she was like, you think she was trying to prove, like, look at me, I'm Jenny from the block, and
I don't know, but that old man was like 100. He was so confused.
Yeah, and he didn't know the fuck she was. He probably thought that she was like a street hooker that was probably like, like she's like, I used to live in that house. He's like, yeah, sure you did. Like, you're not gonna get my grandson's baseball card collection,
Okay.
you hooker.
So
Yeah, so stupid. Anyway, no, I'm talking about Selena, of course, Selena, or like as she was also known as Salina.
Yeah, with an S at the end.
Salinas.
I don't know
Did
why.
that actually happen, or was that just for the movie?
No, it did happen. Her dad said that it happened after like the whole bumper thing.
Yeah.
The guy was like, I'm gonna hang it in my garage and I'm gonna put Salinas.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang it in my garage, and it's gonna say this bumper was pulled off by the van of well, that was a bus, right? By the bus of Salinas.
Yep.
And then he was killed by Miklo. Yeah, there she is right there.
That's
Yeah, I can't believe they cast Jennifer Lopez for that role.
Yeah.
She is a lot prettier than Jennifer. I think Jennifer Lopez looks like shit.
Her dad didn't want Jennifer Lopez, actually.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yep. He said he was rooting for someone else, and
you?
When they went to go like cast these girls or whatever, they were doing like a screen test, I guess, and they just kept doing take after take after take, and they were like, dude, like, we can't do it anymore. It's taking too long. Like, it's not gonna work. And she's like, okay, fine. I mean, he said, okay, fine. And they said Jennifer Lopez did it in 3 takes. And so he was like, all right, get her.
Yeah, it was probably so hard, like, to get Jennifer Lopez on there, because they're like, okay, so you're the Tex-Mex queen? She's like, I ain't no Tex-Mex queen. I'm Puerto Rican. Like, no, dumb bitch.
Well, she had to live with them for a while, and she was like just hanging out with like the sisters and stuff like that. And she's like, I was listening to music, I was like watching videos, doing all this stuff, because like her accent, obviously she's from New York, so she had to like change her entire, thing.
I didn't think that she was a good casting for that. Like,
they liked her.
I didn't. So like watching the movie like many years later, and then I was like, damn, like what were you trying to go for? Like with Jennifer Lopez, it's kind of like did you want people to think that Selena was ghetto trash? Because if you did, like, Jennifer Lopez nailed it. But no, she was actually really classy.
She was, and she was loved by so many people.
Yeah, it's insane.
It was crazy.
Yeah, people are going up to her like, Salinas.
Yeah, no, it was a lot.
I never told my kids that I love them, but you know what, Salinas? I love you.
Jesus. Yeah, it was a lot. She did really well for herself in the amount of years that she did all her stuff,
She could sing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one thing is that I've always made this argument, and I stand by it. So I think that Actually, we had this discussion not too long ago, but breaking into the music industry is really hard, right?
Mm,
Breaking into the Spanish music industry is a lot harder because
mm,
what did I say? That if you're gonna do American Idol, for example, and you go and then the people sing, they sing their stupid song, and they're like, "You're going to Hollywood." Like if you look at Spanish, like I don't know, Mexico Idol, I don't know what the hell they have, but if they look at it, if you look at those kind of programs, you have to know how to dance too. You got to do both. You can't just do one or
mm,
the other. So there's people out there. So there used to be a show called Sábado Gigante, and people used to go and they would compete, and then they would sing, and they had great voices, but they couldn't dance. And then they're like, mira, 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 te voy a decir una cosa, puedes cantar, pero no sabes bailar. Desafortunadamente no sabes bailar, y blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, you can't dance, so we're going to give you a no. So you had to
mm.
do both. And
Yeah,
with Selena, she had a great voice. I think it was, how old was she? She was 15.
she was. So when they first started, her dad had a band, right? Like when she was not even born yet, he had a band, and he would do more like pop and like I
Oldies.
guess yeah, like oldie stuff. Ended up having to get out of that because he went to perform at some place with his people, and it's a bunch of Mexicans, I guess, and they were pissed off because they didn't know, Tejano music. So
Yeah.
then he's like, we, transitioned into like full time just Tejano music, whatever. He ended up quitting, open a restaurant, and then like realized that Selena could sing.
Yeah.
I think she was like 6 years old when that happened.
Both her parents were singers. They were in the music industry, weren't they? Like the dad was like in the
Um,
music, and I think the mom, she did something. I don't know what it was.
a
Didn't mean she
mom?
was like yeah. It doesn't mean she was a singer or a dancer, but I think she had something to do with music. I don't know if she managed shit or whatever.
I'm not sure, but the dad for sure, he had like his band or whatever. And so he opened a restaurant, and her and the brother and like whatever they had this little band. So here's, um,
That's what I
and they
looked
would,
like when I was that age.
me too, and they would they would perform at like his restaurant and do all that, and then they had to close down the restaurant. I think like not even that much later, like a year or two or something, because went through a recession. Blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
it was due to oil because oil prices, I think, had dropped. So
Hmm.
the value of oil had lowered, and Texas is a huge, huge oil state. So when you end up having, the price of oil kind of fuck up, like it ruins the whole state because that's like
Ruins
one of the
everything.
major. The what?
That it ruins everything.
Yeah, because that Texas is not the largest, but one of the largest, and their main economy is actually oil, petroleum. So yeah, and what's interesting is the dad, he would have them play like oldies music, and like you said, people are like, I don't know, like what it was. People back then, I think it might also be the region and the type of people, because if you, I used to listen to this oldies station where they would play nothing but oldies, and then the DJ was like, "All right, everybody, looks like we're getting a phone call here. Do we have a request? Do you have a request for a song?" And this guy would call, and he'd be like, "Yeah, can you play can you play Angel Baby, and can you dedicate it to Mariela?" And the guy was, "All right, Angel Baby to Mariela." And then next hour, it's like, "You're on Radio Oldies. Do you have a request?" And it's like, "Hey, yeah, what's up? Is it can you play Unchained Melody, and can you dedicate it to Maria?" So it's almost like that whenever you see cholos, that's all they listen to. But I don't know if it's the area where you see the majority of Hispanic people, and they're like, no, we want to listen to Tejano music,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do you know?
And
Do you know what Tejano music is?
what do you mean
Like if you were to give a description of what like Tejano is, like what is the difference between like
between Tejano and
and just like any other like Mexican music?
um? Yeah, I don't listen to Mexican music. I would say maybe more. I don't. It's like more
It's a little bit
dancey.
more
I don't know.
it's a little bit more upbeat. Like you ever heard that song? If you're gonna play in Texas, you
Yeah,
better have a
it's
fiddle in the
Spanish,
band. Yeah, but in
country,
Spanish.
and Spanish.
Yeah, in Spanish. So
Hmm.
that's all it is. And it's actually I don't listen to. Mexican music, but there's some songs that are like Tex-Mex. I'm like, okay, this because I
I
can
don't
kind
listen.
of the what?
I don't listen to any Mexican music.
Oh, you fucking liar. Um, so it's like,
Um,
oh, here comes Slasher. Yeah,
that's what plays just when I'm walking.
just
Um,
like you're in the room.
yeah.
Good ringtone.
So anyway, so they had this like band, whatever. They ended up getting kind of popular locally. Um, and they kind of did that for like years. She released her first album with the band when she was 8.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it didn't really get released. They recorded it. They didn't release it until after she died, but it sold a lot after.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's, really quick. I'm gonna just say something. Shit, I gotta stop interrupting and just let you talk.
No, go ahead.
So Selena managed to sell 2 million albums in 24 hours. Like, that is insane. That's crazy. Like, that's a big thing. And the only other person that did as much, if not just a little bit more, was Elvis Presley.
That's insane to think that she was on the same level of like sales as that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She got an award recently for like music sales for having like I don't know how many billion or whatever it was like sales. It's crazy. It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, she was good, man. Like, if like you can be like really anti that kind of shit all you want, but if somebody puts on a Selena music and no one's around, you're gonna sing and dance.
Yeah, and like it's crazy that I guess like still to this day like people listen to it regularly. When I was, I'm Mexican, obviously. And so like, when I was little, I was only 3 when she died. But like still even after like just my entire life, like it's always been around, Like every Mexican that I know knows at least one Selena song, and I know a lot of them. And like it was just popular for I guess like the people, for everybody really, but just with Mexicans in general, I think it's just like a really popular thing to play everywhere, like parties, birthday parties, anything,
Yeah, because it's a jam, man.
Yeah, I grew up like listening to that, like knowing who she was, even though she was dead already.
You kind of look like Selena.
No, I do not. Shut up.
I think so. But anyway, don't start that rumor. She's not dead, guys. She's right here.
No, people are gonna think I said it. They're gonna cancel me.
So I lost my train of thought. So like with Selena, she won an award at the age of 15, and this is one thing that was really interesting to me, like when you had mentioned that, because there was a person that won it 5 years in a row, correct?
Yep, Laura Canales.
And what's interesting is a lot of people are like, who the fuck is that? Like, this was a person that was big in the Mexican music. She had her own. So there used to be a show in Televisa, and it was basically what it was she was hosting, and people would compete to like sing like her, see who could sing like her, and it went on for a long fucking time. And then from there was another show. It was called Johnny Canales. And yeah, take it away. And what's interesting about that, it actually started with him playing her music, and it was like like that's crazy. Like people would dance, and it was kind of like Mexican Soul Train, and they would play her music, and then eventually it just like branched off to other things. But the fact that she won, and she was good, the fact that she won it 5 years in a row, you're like, well, yeah, of course she's gonna win 5 years in a row. And how old was she? Like in her 30s?
She was, I don't even know. But she won 5 years in a row, and then Selena came in
and then
years old and took it from her.
Do
you know how many years in a row she won that award?
5.
No, Selena.
Oh, Selena. Oh, I don't know.
8.
Damn.
Yeah, they gave it to her even after she died.
Yeah, that's insane. She had
Mhm.
talent, man, and like
Yeah,
for
I have
and she could.
a list here of all her awards.
Oh, put it.
Um,
Pull it up. Oh,
so 86 was Female Vocalist of the Year. That's when she was 15. When she was 16, she got Female Vocalist of the Year, Most Promising Band, Album of the Year, and Song of the Year. At 16 years old is insane to have all that.
yeah.
17, Entertainer of the Year. Um, 18 and 19, she got Entertainer and Vocalist of the Year. Then from 91 to 94, she got Entertainer of the Year. 94, she also got her Grammy for Best Mexican American Album. And it was a live album, not even like a studio recorded album.
Ooh.
95, Entertainer, Vocalist, and Album of the Year.
She looks like a chola queen.
Right, but like from everybody that brings her up and like talks about her personality and whatever, they say that she was just like the nicest,
Yeah.
happiest, like just everything. Like she was just a
Yeah.
good
Do
person.
do do. Like all like
Mhm.
super beat
That
bopping
she was,
along. Just
yeah, that she was just a super good person, super nice person. Like that she wanted her goal, kind of like as a celebrity, was kind of just to like stay humble. She wanted to stay, um, I guess, like reachable to everyone.
yeah.
Like she wanted everyone to be able to like come up to her and say hi and like
You
whatever.
know
And her
what's
family was
crazy?
worried about that because they were
Yeah.
like, you're a celebrity, like you can't be, just.
She opened up a boutique. This was later.
Mhm,
And you know how celebrities are like, oh, so and so open up a boutique. Where are they? Oh, they're not here. This is just this location. You know, like
mhm.
she opened up a boutique, and guess what? She was there. That's what's crazy is that she would go,
Yeah.
and it's like that's crazy. It was like a salon slash boutique,
Mm-hmm.
and some people
Wasn't
would talk about,
children.
yeah, some people was crazy. They would say that they would go to this place, and there she was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, she's right there,
She was
and
like
then
getting her nails done, getting her hair
yeah.
done, or whatever, and she would go to her own place. Like it
Oh,
was
so
actually, I have the
I
outside.
heard this.
Just
Yeah,
one of
look
them.
at that. Jeez, look
People
at that '90s
lined up.
clothes.
I remember all that. Was
Yeah,
that
what
little
the
kid on the floor? Is that you?
yeah, that's me on the floor. You see me
Yeah, it's
trying to get
crazy.
on my LA gears because they're on the wrong feet.
That building is now like a real estate office or something like that, which
What?
is sad. Yeah. Yep. They
That
closed it.
sucks.
Yeah, they closed one of them down faster. I think the one in San Antonio, they closed it down like soon after she died. The one in Corpus, where she's like from there, they kept it open for a little bit, and then eventually they just closed it down. Also,
Yeah, so there was a lady that I used to know. She worked at this factory, and she had all these fucking stories. One time she was wearing a Selena shirt, and I was
like
checking her out.
everybody, is she Mexican?
Yeah. So
Every
actually,
Mexican has a Selena shirt.
she was half Mexican, half Filipina, I think. She was a little chinita. So
I
she
know
had a
so many people with Selena shirts.
she had the big Selena hoop earrings too. So I was checking her credentials, and I knew who she was. It was just routine. And then I was like, "Oh, that's a nice shirt." And she told me a story about how when she was young, she went to Selena's boutique or whatever, and
Mhm.
then Selena was there, and Selena told her that she likes her hair and makeup. And then she's like, "Oh, thank you, whatever." And then she says, "Can you do my hair and makeup like that really quick?" And she's like, "Are you kidding me?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then she says she sat down in the little chair, and she like let her do the makeup and the hair. And at first I was like, that can't be a real story. But then after I was doing research for the show and just kind of like listening to stories of people, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was definitely her. You
Yeah,
know,
she was very like about people, about family, about she's very like family oriented. Um, actually, when maybe we should get into this later, but when she died and they took her to when she got shot, I guess, and they took her to the hospital. When they told her dad, like she didn't make it, like we tried to give her blood, her dad said out loud like she didn't want blood. And he said that there were reporters there and they heard that and they kind of just ran with it and were like, oh, Celine died because her dad didn't want her to have blood.
jeez Louise.
And he was like, and that wasn't it at all. He's like, she was very believing in, like everything happens, I guess, for a reason. When it's your time, it's your time. She didn't want to take any blood. She didn't want any of that. Like, she just wanted to, whenever she
Yeah.
goes, she goes.
Yeah, whatever the Lord wanted for her. And that's crazy because people are not like that. People are like, give me anything. What do you got? Dog blood? I'll take it. So
Yeah.
anyway, damn, it's just like you hear these stories and it's so heartbreaking because that's like the number one thing is that people would approach her, you know, and
Yep.
later, people would suggest that she wear disguises because to go places and
She didn't want to.
not because it's like somebody's gonna hurt you or somebody's gonna do this. It's because she would sit there and talk to you for hours, and then they're like, "We got shit to do." So then they're like, "You gotta wear a disguise so people didn't recognize you."
So like in the movie, when she goes to the mall and the like crowd like rushes her, and there's like so many people everywhere. Apparently that actually happened, which I'm sure that happens to celebrities all the time. But
No,
her
like
family was, yeah, I don't know if we mentioned that on the Ash Trevino one, but
I
she
don't
literally
think so.
mentioned that she went to the casino and that a crowd of people rushed her. She's like, like in the Selena movie when she's at the mall, it was like that. It was not like that. There's videos of her
People
standing there by herself, because her friends left without her. Anyway, so her family, Selena's family, mentioned that everything that happened in the movie, pretty much, it's exactly like what happened in real life, because they made the movie themselves, or like they got Warner Brothers or whatever to make the movie, because they had gotten word that Hollywood was already looking into making a movie, and they're like, we have to do it first so that we can put what actually happened.
Yeah, because Hollywood will do that.
That sucks.
Yeah, so because imagine if their family didn't have like a hand in it and then Hollywood just took over, we'd be seeing a completely different movie. It wouldn't be that movie. It would be like, this summer, Selena, you didn't know that at night she was also a vigilante. One woman, one mission, one song.
They would have brought in that scandal with the doctor.
Yeah, she'd be wearing bandoliers and the doctor like underneath his arm, and she would be like, "Come on, mijo, we are going to win this for freedom."
Her accent wasn't even like that, which is crazy. If you like watch videos of her, like she had like a very Texan accent.
Mijo, and it's like
she didn't even know Spanish.
Yeah, just Selena is the Texan queen. That's I get rated. So that's what it would be. So
yeah, exactly like
that. Damn it, I am Corey Feldman. Anyway, so no, so it was pretty sad. All right, so she does this, right? She has a concert. She catches the attention of a woman, right? Who claimed that there's a lot. Okay, you know what? I almost went with what she said, but let's go with the main story because who the hell's gonna believe somebody that killed somebody?
So what you're talking about, I've never heard before, but we're just gonna.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say what she said. Okay.
But it's no, it's not what she said.
That's what supposedly. Did you watch that documentary?
Yeah, she didn't say that.
I thought that story came from her.
No.
That she said it to Al Rojo Vivo and to all these places.
No, the death maybe like after when she was being accused of murdering her, but
well, yeah, that's but I mean.
But no, I didn't see any of that.
So the point is that there's these stories that are out there, and when you hear, I think it's like 3 documentaries, and this is what she said, which is overwhelmingly is not true. I don't think so. So she said, when I first heard her music, I didn't like it, but didn't she show up with like Selena merch to the fucking concert?
So I watched the documentary on Peacock. There's a documentary on there.
What is it called?
It's called like Selena and Yolanda or something.
The stories of gold or some shit.
Yeah, and it was Yolanda's like sister or something like that.
She was ugly just like her too, so
that was like, it wasn't only like her, it was us too. It was like a cousin or something, and like they would listen to Selena's music. They would go to like these little concerts and like do all this stuff, and they were fans. And the sister was actually the one that suggested that they start a fan club, and she's like, we should start this. yada yada, whatever. Yolanda was the one that was like a super fan, which if you've never seen that lady, here she is.
Yeah, she looks like have you ever seen when somebody like fuck ups the haircut of a what are those called, labradoodle,
Yeah,
and it's like, what did you do to my dog? Like that's what she looks like.
that's how I look when I cut my hair short. Um,
It's like somebody put
so
like a Rick James wig on a pug.
yeah, that's why I keep it long. Um, so her sister was like, we should start this fan club, whatever. This lady kind of, again, like many people do, I guess, ran with that. And she started trying to contact Selena's dad, like over and over, just calling and calling and calling, leaving voicemails.
Leaving letters.
Selena's dad finally was like, I'm just going to call this lady back, see what she wants, you know? And so he calls back and she's like, you know, I think she's amazing, blah, blah, blah. I want to do this like fan club. Like I want to start it, whatever. So he was like, I'll let you know, like maybe I'll talk about it, whatever. They ended up doing it. And he's like, it has to be like a nonprofit thing. And so the money that they would make from this fan club would be donated to charities.
Yeah.
And they were getting $22 a year from whoever wanted to like join, and they would get like a shirt, they would get posters, like stuff like that, right? So $22 a year, and by the end of the fan club, this lady had gotten around 8,000, so almost 9,000 people to join. Yeah, to join.
That's a lot of money.
To join this membership, right? So she becomes like the president of this fan club, and she's doing so much for them, and she actually doesn't even meet Selena until like almost a year later. And the sister also didn't meet her until way later. She said like when she met her, she was super nice, blah, 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 all that stuff, whatever. They ended up becoming like good friends, supposedly. The dad says no.
Yeah, that's something that's another conflicting thing is that this this lady was saying they were best friends and that Selena would go to her for advice, like life advice, but the people that were around her said that Selena was too nice, and the lady would want to like come over or want to hang out, and then they're like, fuck, like Selena, you gotta, this lady's weird. And then she was like, no, she's da da da. She was like, there's a old story out there that it was called Simple Sam. And people misunderstand the story. They believe that Simple Sam was stupid, but he wasn't stupid. He was innocent. He was like pure of heart. Just like if in tarot, the card that has no numerical value, the Fool. And the Fool in the English language is somebody that's stupid. That's not what a fool means. It's a inocencio, innocent, inocente. So it's somebody that's pure of heart. That's why he's holding a white rose, you know? So, and what's interesting, the history really quick, I'm going to get off Selena, I'm going to do the sister thing. So what you see is the Fool is generally holding a white rose, and there's a shitload of red roses. Why is that significant? So white roses back in the day were discarded because people didn't want white roses. They wanted red roses. So the fact that he picked a white rose because it was unique, you know, he overstepped all the valuable stuff that people value, and he went for the one thing that people saw as, you know, worthless, and to him it was worth it. He was holding it. So that's the innocent, pure of heart. And that's one of the ways that people describe Selena, is that she was just pure of heart, that if some fan said, hey, you want to come over for lunch? I'm here at this place, she would go. You know, like, okay, let's go. And people are like, that's dangerous. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So her
family, her husband were all like, you gotta stop. Like, you can't.
Yes. So they were very overprotective because they felt like she was too trusting. So yeah, so with this lady, she was like, we were best friends and we were blah, blah. People were saying that she was just extremely nice, extremely kind. You know, this lady wanted to.
One of the weird, like, I guess, things was that lady and her sister also were like, she used to call Yolanda Buffy. And she's like, you knew that whenever you were like one of her close friends, she would start calling you Buffy, which like I don't know what that means, but
She killed vampires.
yeah. um so that she started calling her Buffy, blah blah blah, and she's like, that's how you knew, they were like really good friends, and like this lady claimed to know so many secrets about Selena, and she's like, there's like a good side to her that everybody saw, and there's like a really bad side. And I guess that's where like the scandals come in, which honestly I don't believe.
No, I looked at it,
Yeah.
and
So,
on we'll talk about those like towards the end of the show.
um, yeah, scandals, I don't believe it. I think this lady's just looking for a way to get the attention off of herself. And that, yeah, so whatever. So what were you doing? What were you talking about?
We were talking about how close, basically like how friendly she was, and she had close friends, and this lady wanted to become really close with her, and and
the dad said it's not true.
So it's like, talk to anyone that knew her. It's like you could tell like when somebody is shitty and then they're like fake, like you could tell. But she legitimately, like, somebody told a story about how somebody said, hey, because Selena was like, I'm busy right now, but I'll be out here when I'm done. If I'm still here, we can get something to eat or something to drink, whatever the hell it was. And I think it was her brother, who was a member of the Cumbia Kings, was talking about how she actually did whatever she had to do, and then went outside and waited, and then this person showed up, and then they like went and got like something to drink, not an alcoholic beverage, but just something to drink, and they talked, and she signed a bunch of shit. And her brother was saying that's just how she was. And then her brother's like, you can't do that. Like, somebody's going to try to hurt you. Somebody's going to try to kidnap you, but she did that. And then you just talking about how she was just an example of a person, because when you become famous, a lot of people lose that. Like, they lose the humanity, and she wasn't like that.
No.
Just the fact that she told this person, I'll wait for you, just like you would tell like a Jehovah's Witness, like, oh yeah, I'll be right here.
Do you think her age had anything to do with it? Like, 'cause she was so young. Do you think she was kind of just, and I don't want to, this is just like a, like, do you think she was still like in her naive way of thinking? Like, oh, everything's fine. Like, nobody's going to do anything. It's okay,
Okay. I would say yes and no. Because what happens is when you're that age and you become super famous, the opposite happens. Like, it's too much at once. Like, you bring in money, you bring in fame, and then you become horrible, or you become, because your brain isn't fully developed and there's too much. And with her, it's almost like it went the opposite. There was stories where she would like bring home pets and hide them just because she was afraid that they were like going to be mistreated, they weren't going to be fed. There was a story where she had hidden like a chicken in her house because the neighbors were going to kill it, and it's just like just shit like that. And
I know that she liked animals. Her husband had, geez, my hair just like will not stop.
How long is your hair again?
Like 3 feet.
Yeah, that's insane.
Total. Like, let me see. If I like try to bring up like the end of it.
Holy shit, that is crazy.
Okay, so like let's start here, and then we'll just go up slowly.
It's like rope.
Here. Hold on. Oh, it's tangled. Here's the end.
That's crazy. That's long.
It's too much. Too much.
So, but yeah, I mean, just shit like that. How she cared for animals, and you said her husband was saying that she loved animals.
Yeah, they around the time that she died, which we'll get into how she died, but around the time that she died, he said that they were already in the process of getting a home built for them on like a lot of land, and she wanted to raise horses. Like, that's what she like wanted to do all her life. Is like one of her dreams or whatever, was to just have horses and raise them. And by that time she had the means, I guess, to do it. And he ended up just like not doing anything at all. Like, he was like, I don't want that house because it's not with her. I don't want the land. I don't want, all these things, because it's her that he wanted to be with, and not, he didn't care about the other stuff.
Yeah, because in the end, it would just be a painful reminder of who isn't there.
Hmm.
Damn, that's just so crazy. Like to me, like those kind of stories, it's just so heartbreaking because
Yeah.
there's a lot of shitty people
Hmm.
out there, and then when you get a story of somebody that's nice, it's so because it's so rare nowadays. So
Yes.
the one that got me was that fucking fan one where like like I'll wait, and she's like, no, I told this person I was gonna be here, so they waited for this person. It's fucking just hung
Yeah.
up. Don't even know who the hell this person was, and they're like, what are you doing? So,
No, because like that's again that's what she was all about. Like she loved family and she whatever she wanted 5 kids. Like she wanted all of these things and she again wanted to remain kind of just like a regular person, even though she was not just a regular person anymore.
yeah,
There's videos of her like walking around her salon, like saying like this is where they're gonna get nails, like hair, blah blah blah. And she's like in regular like sweatpants and like leggings, and she's like, this is how I dress. Like
excited
even
too.
though
Like she
like
was
I'm
so,
just
those
like
are videos are sad
she's like I'm just
because
like a regular person like everybody else.
she's happy,
Mm, yeah,
and a lot
she's
of people
so
when
young.
people open like when famous people open businesses, they'll open businesses like this is where this is going to be, and it's going to be right over here, blah 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 blah. It's going to be successful, and then they leave and they don't give a shit, But the fact, like seeing her walk around and saying like people are going to get their nail done here, they can get this, they can
Mhm.
get that, and she's legitimately happy. Like
Yeah,
it's just like damn, like why would you want to hurt a person like this? But we'll get into that.
yeah, we'll get into that. So here's a picture of this lady and Selena. Um, the sister of this lady is like you see this picture and you just see like good friends, like you don't see this crazy like obsessive fan or whatever. That's what a lot of people said she was. She had a shrine in her house.
Yeah, and in the boutique she ran.
So here is that.
It's
um
just crazy. She's dressed. You know what she reminds me of? Paul Bear, the guy that used to come out with the Undertaker. Bring him up. Pull him up.
what? I don't have a picture of him. Okay,
Oh,
I'll get it.
so
um
I mean, but look at her. She's like generally happy, and
yeah, so
she's a
she
chinita. Like
so this Yolanda lady was I think 11 years older, and it's which
it
is
was rough.
crazy. Like, well, yeah, but also like it's just insane to think of like this. Let's say she's 30, right? Of this 30-year-old lady being friends with a 19-year-old like famous singer, whatever. Like it's weird. It's a weird dynamic that they have for her to be like we were best friends, like whatever. I just
What'd you talk
I
about?
don't know. Yeah, what do you talk about?
She's probably talking about shit that she wasn't around for, like Magneto, and she's like, "What the hell's that?" See, isn't that what she looks like?
That's her. I just
That's her
searched
right there. Like people are
Yolanda.
like, "Wait a minute, what is she doing out of prison?" Like, no, it's Paul Bear.
Um, yeah,
Where's she creepy?
so Selena opens these boutiques, whatever, and um, she doesn't know who to put to run them. So the dad, her dad, was actually the one that suggested that Yolanda runs them
Yeah,
because Selena was like, I don't know what to do, whatever, whatever. I guess she's busy, doing stuff. And the dad's like, what about this lady? This lady that runs the fan clubs. What about, her? She was already trusted. She was doing a bunch of stuff. And so they let her do it. And apparently that was one of the worst mistakes that he made, he said,
yeah.
because
She
that led
was
up to
she was
everything.
aggressive. She was weird. Like one of
Mhm.
Selena's cousins um worked with her, and then she ended up quitting, and she's like, this person's shitty. People make sales, and she's not having them reported. She has them reported to her, and then when they're reporting it to her, doesn't have anything written down, so we have no idea. There's no bill of sales. And she said that a couple of times that things got like crazy because the place was really popular, there was like a poster of Selena that she would talk to, and that's what was fucking creepy. Is that like she would go and it's like, "Hi, Selena, what do you want? What should I do?" Like, Selena, what advice do you have? Like, that's a poster. Like, are you
Yeah,
crazy?
that's weird.
But that's like the kind of shit. Like, she had a shrine in her damn house, and didn't they show her house?
I tried to find it. It's most likely in like an old video somewhere, but I tried to find it and I could not get a
Her
picture of it.
her you know, sister or brother or adopted kid probably scrub the fucking thing.
Yeah, there's actually quite a bit. So that documentary that's on Peacock, I feel like it kind of leans towards her being innocent. Not innocent because she still killed her, but more towards like it was an accident because that's what she said.
Yeah,
Um,
that
Half of the people in that documentary are like, it just doesn't make sense that she would shoot her on purpose, like blah blah blah. You know, of
yeah,
obviously her family, but other people too.
I don't buy that. I mean,
Yeah,
because people will say that kind of shit. They're like, well, she would never hurt her. She would never do that. She was stealing from her. You
yeah.
know,
That
she was
was
stealing.
that was one of the issues. Is so in January of '95, we'll just skip over the whole like she was crazy at the boutiques and all that stuff. She fired a lot of people.
Yeah,
She was like she would tell stories, I guess, to employees that like, oh, this other person said this about you, it wasn't true,
yeah, yeah.
all this stuff. So
One of the things, really quick, touching on the boutique, some of the time when she fired someone, it was because she felt like they weren't like worshiping Selena enough. It's crazy shit. It was
okay, North
like,
Korea.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah,
so there was also, I guess, like just people that said that she would fire some people just if she didn't like them.
yeah,
She didn't like the person, so oh, you're gone. You know. Um, so January '95, um, AB, which is Selena's dad, um, was getting complaints about like, or I guess like before, he was getting complaints about the fan club and how like all these parents were sending letters, they were calling like, hey, my kid hasn't gotten their merch, my kid hasn't gotten this and this, and like we paid, you know. So he went and confronted Yolanda about it, and he's like, why are these people not getting their stuff? Are you not sending it? Like, what's going on? Is it too much for you? And she's like, no, they're just lying. Like they want like a free, you know, package, or they want like another one, or they want a free shirt, they want posters, blah blah blah, whatever. So he kind of like kept it in the back of his head, like he, you know, not moved on, but kind of just like he was busy, you know. So he kept getting these complaints, and he decided that he was going to actually investigate it.
yeah,
Um, so he called her and was like, "Hey, like I need all of the records for the boutiques, because she did the bookkeeping for both locations.
yeah.
Like I need all the records for the boutiques." She didn't really like say whether she was going to hand them over or not. So he ended up going to the one in Corpus and walking in, and he was going to take the files from the filing cabinet. And the girl that was there was like, "Oh, like I don't have a key because they were locked." And he was like, "What do you mean? Like you're supposed to have, you know, like." And she's like, "No, like I never got a key from Yolanda, I assume."
That's so weird.
Yeah. So he was like, "Fine, whatever. I'll take the whole thing." So he picked up the filing cabinet, took it to his car, and he said that when he like opened it, he broke into it or whatever, it was empty. And there was only one envelope at the bottom of the filing cabinet, like a manila envelope, and in there were like the last quarter, I think, of bank statements, or like just like the bookkeeping, and there was also checks that were being filled out and signed and cashed or deposited by Yolanda to herself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
signing.
Here,
Oh man, and it's so
some.
it's fuck. That's so dark because
Yeah.
it's like here, and this is what again. It's like a shitty person. Here's somebody that's not, and I'm not going to justify this. Like I don't think theft is ever right, but
Hmm.
if somebody is like shitty to you, or they're mean to you, or they treat you bad, and you're like, this is a perfect way for me to get back at them, it's not justifiable, it's not a good, but I can kind of see it if you're sick-minded, like that's the
Yeah.
your way of getting back. This is somebody that was nice to you. There's somebody that
Hmm.
if she would have gone up to her and be like, sorry, I got an accent kind of going on there, sorry. If somebody were to because if she would have got, I said
Can't hear
if I said it probably because I have a little buzz.
Oh, me too.
Um,
Mine hasn't come
so
on.
Yeah, if this lady would have said like, "Hey, I need $10,000," and I'd be like, "Here you go," you know,
Maybe,
it
maybe not 10, but yeah,
but
I know
you
what
know
you
what
mean.
I mean. Like
Yeah.
if you were down, like if you weren't making enough money, she would help you out. You didn't
Hmm.
have to like do her like it's fucking writing checks. It's so dirty, you
And
know.
so they said that the amount that she ended up taking was about 30,000, and that was in the
In the
90s.
'90s, how much
So
is that now? Let's see.
it's
What
about
year was that?
61,000.
Jeez Louise.
Mm, yeah, it's a lot. And that's around half of what they were making with the fan club.
Yeah.
So he thought that it was only the fan club that she was taking money from at first. He thought it was only the fan club. After he found out about like the checks and whatever, he went and he checked the boutique stuff. She was stealing from there too.
Yeah. Not
Um,
just taking money, but taking merchandise.
ridiculous. So she worked like okay, whatever. So March 9th, he set up a meeting and he's like, hey, like I want you to be here at 9 a.m. We have to like talk about some stuff. It was like 9:20 or something, and there's a phone call of him being like, hey, like you're supposed to be here 20 minutes ago. Where are you? You know, like what's going on, whatever. Um, she ends up going. They confront her about this stuff. Where's this money that's missing? She has no explanation. Where is, you know, like the people's stuff? No explanation. What are these checks? Nothing. Um, and Selena's dad and like some attorney or something was saying that she kept looking at Selena for like help. Like she kept kind of like glancing over to her. But the lady, Yolanda, says that she was sitting there and Selena was defending her. So I don't know what side is true. Probably not the old lady, but um, yeah. So
I I wouldn't say that defending her, but maybe she was like, "There's got to be an explanation." Like, probably the dad was like, "You're stealing from us. Like, why are you stealing?" Selena
yeah.
was probably like, "No, maybe she blah blah blah. There's got to be an
Well,
explanation.
okay.
Maybe."
So when that happened, they said that that's like the first time that it looked like she was kind of believing everything. Like
Yeah,
she was kind of just quiet and like waiting for this lady to explain. But the old lady said that she's like, let her talk or whatever. Who knows? Um, so right after that meeting ends, this lady goes to a gun place and tries to buy a gun. So the thing was that she bought the gun, like the papers that they have or whatever, the receipts. She bought the gun on the 13th. Um, on the 9th was their meeting. Uh, it was either the 9th or the 10th that she had to go to the gun place and fill out an intent to purchase like a firearm or something,
yeah,
or like some form. So she filled out the form. They said it took like 3 days to clear. As soon
hmm
as it cleared, she went and she bought the gun.
yeah,
Um, bought the gun and then ended up meeting Selena to get to like give her some paperwork that Selena wanted. Um, so she gives her the paperwork and then she shows her the gun and she's like, I'm gonna, you know, blah 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 to myself and whatever. And Selena's like, get rid of it.
yeah.
You know, it'll be fine.
She bought
You
a
can stay.
Taurus snub nose 38,
I don't
38
know what that
special.
is, but I'm sure it's bad.
It's so the 38 is in the basically okay. So 38 special is a 38, but like with a little bit more powder. The grandfather and the dad of all these rounds is the 357. The 38, 38 special, 38 plus P, 38 short, they all fall under that category. Only the
Mhm.
3057 is with more powder. So it's a pretty, that's what most police officers carry as their backup gun. So it's a gun that'll put you down. So
And didn't
it's
she buy like
hollow point
hollow?
rounds.
Yeah.
She bought a hollow point rounds. The hollow point round is a round intended to, as soon as it enters your body, it has kinetic energy, and what it does is it fragments and shreds inside your body to leave a big exit wound, especially in a 38. So you buy that round. So a lot of people will buy something like a 9 millimeter or a 380 smaller caliber for self defense. You know, you shoot, so you want to stop an attacker, right? You want the attacker to stop. 38 special in a hollow point round is intended to, kill you. It leaves a big hole. And if you were wearing a vest, for those of you that think that you're going to be safe, if you wear a vest and somebody shoots you with a 38 special, what happens is it's hitting with 500 pounds of force. And as soon as it hits you, you're going to hit the ground, and the round's not going to kill you. The ground is. Your head's going to bounce off the ground with that force. It's going to split your head open. So it's a round intended to fuck you up. So the
I wonder
fact that
I wonder if she asked like the gun
yep, she'll
store
probably
attendant.
yeah, especially in that era. In that era, I mean, now you can go to the gun store and give me this and give me this.
So the
It
thing was
was
that she bought it in San Antonio,
yeah,
not in Corpus. So she
no,
left the meeting, went back to San Antonio because that's where she lived. Went back to San Antonio, went to a lawyer to get a letter of resignation. Which, like, why would you do that if they're already firing you?
yeah,
Um, got a letter of resignation and got a gun.
yeah.
And so she had to have asked, I think, like, because
If
she
if
said
I
that it was for protection,
if I wanted to kill somebody, if I wanna
protect myself.
if I wanna shoot somebody and one round is going to kill them, what do you recommend? And the guy was
What
probably
do you recommend
I
for
don't
a?
know if she knew anything about firearms, but very likely the gun owner trying to help her out was probably like, "Okay, you want this snub nose? It's easily concealed. I would bring it on camera, but I don't know if that'd be good." So,
What do you recommend for a lady that needs a or wants a gun for protection?
yep, and I would recommend the same thing. I would recommend a Taurus. Snub nose. Snub nose was originally um, utilized by mafia members. They're called snub nose because you cut down the barrel to make them short, and out of a 4 or a 6-inch revolver, you cut it down to where you only have like a 2-inch revolver, and you do that so you can put it in your coat pocket, put it in your pocket, put it in something where it's easily concealed. You can shoot from your pocket. A lot of gangsters did that. They would walk past somebody with their hands in their pocket, and be aiming a revolver at somebody, shoot them, and then keep walking, you know. So just something like that. So that's what that snub nose was originally intended for, was for concealment and close quarters. So, so he probably said, if I want to kill somebody, what? And he's like, here, take this 38. Here's a hollow point round. You know, these are gonna kill somebody the first shot. And
Yeah.
people say, why don't you shoot them in the leg? They're gonna die. They're gonna bleed out. You know.
So, which is what happened. So
Yep.
she bought the gun, showed it to Selena. Selena said, "Get rid of it. Supposedly, according to her, she said, I'll protect you from, my family, because according to Yolanda, the family was threatening her. The dad was threatening her, saying that, like he was gonna call the cops, like he was gonna call, all these people. He was gonna get rid of her basically if she didn't go away."
I can see the dad saying, "Hey, I'm going to call the cops." Um,
Mhm.
why when somebody says, "I want to call the cops on you if you show up," I don't know why you would think like, "I better get a gun." Like,
Yeah.
why? Just don't go near them.
So there are multiple people that say that he is very intimidating. Um, there's this lady. She's a reporter or like a journalist from Univision,
Yeah.
and she says that she's scared of him.
What
And
reporter is this?
Marta Flores.
Yeah. What the
They
Flores?
asked.
Stupid ass last name.
They asked why. They asked why, and she's like, "I don't want to say it on camera."
Yeah. She's.
And,
If that. Let's see who
all
this
right.
lady is. Do you have a picture of her? There was
Um,
See, do you know all reporters? No, but I grew up watching them. And there was some reporters that they were just dramatic like that to make the news or to be
she kind of looks like that, honestly, but yeah, I don't know. She looked genuine when she said it. But she says, like she didn't want to say why it was that she was scared of him, but supposedly she was. I think this is her.
she got old. I know who that is.
Yeah, so yeah, apparently she's scared of him. He's intimidating, but she's also scared of him. Whatever.
Yeah, no,
So,
she's dramatic.
um, the Selena says, "Get rid of it. I'll protect you." Whatever. Lady goes back 2 days later, 2 days after buying the gun. So this is the 15th, and she returns it and says, "My dad already got me one. I don't need it anymore."
Damn it.
And they were like, "Okay,
This is
cool,
bullshit.
right? What, whatever. Like that's fine." So then they take her off of like the bank accounts. They do all this stuff. She holds on to these forms that Selena needs to file her income tax. And they meet up with her, Selena and Selena's husband. She gets the forms and they leave, right? Selena's like, there's a lot of stuff missing. The husband's like, we're not going to go right now. It's super late. Like, it was already past midnight. He's like, we're not going to do this right now. Whatever. She was like, okay. So they had kept her on, which I think it confuses a lot of people when you don't know like this part of the story. But after she was accused of like stealing and all that, people are confused as to why Selena let her stay on the payroll. And the reason is because her husband, Chris, was like, hey, you need to leave her on until we figure out
A
what it
replacement.
is that, huh?
Was it a replacement?
That too, but she had traveled to Mexico, Yolanda, had traveled to Monterrey to see if they could expand and open another store.
Yeah.
So he was like, you need to see what it is that she did over there before you fire her. So Selena was like, okay, we can keep her on. We'll figure out what happened at the other store and then, get rid of her or whatever. Um, so the day of the shooting comes, which is literally the next day, and she asks her to meet at the Days Inn. So she asked her to meet at the Days Inn. It was this one right here.
Jeez.
And she's like, hey, meet me here. I'll give you the rest of the papers, whatever. She says, okay. She meets up with her. She goes to the room, and according to this lady, which nobody will ever know what happened in that room besides the lady, but according to her, she told Selena, like, hey, I'm not going to be able to work for you anymore. Like, it's just not going to happen. She's like, she got on her knees and she was begging me to stay, and I don't know what.
Jeez.
Yeah. She's like, and then she got the papers. I showed her the gun. She says that she showed her the gun and she pointed it at her own head. And that Selena was like, no, 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 like, I'm leaving. Turns around and tries to walk out of the room. Selena's dad has a different kind of like, story. He's like, she didn't want to let her out of the room. Apparently they had heard that the lady tried to stop her from leaving.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but
What's funny is it's not funny. What's interesting, it's one of those things. What's interesting is the fact that when I was a kid, how old was I in 1995? I was 44. So so when I was a kid, this whole thing happened. It was big news. All kinds of shit was going on, and they played 3 different like dramatizations of what happened. One of them was her version of the story, and there was like in when they reenacted it, there was like some chubby lady, and she was like arguing, and she had the gun in her hand, and let's say this is the gun. Okay, it's a lighter, guys. It's not an actual firearm, so it's a lighter, and she was like aiming it at her head, and then she was doing this, and then it shows that like the gun went off, and she like dropped it, and it hit Selena. That was one of the things. That's what she told the police would have happened.
yeah.
News were coming in. The second one was the neighbors were saying that they heard a lot of yelling and a lot of screaming, and one of them was like, "Get away from the door, let me out," or something. And the lady was like pointing a gun at her, and then the gun went off. And same thing, like, oh, drops the gun. And then I don't know if this is like the official thing, but the official thing was like she was aiming the gun at her, and she was like, "You're gonna stay in the room." She's like, "No, I'm leaving." Turned around and walked off, and then she shot her. So 3 different stories,
Yeah.
and it's obvious that it's not the first one, you know,
Yeah. So
because I would tell
they
you
ended
why.
up saying, sorry, go ahead.
So in something like a snub nose, right? And something like a like a snub nose, this and this makes a huge difference because the barrel is not as long as a short barrel. So
Mhm.
between this and this makes a huge difference. So if she was waving it in the air and she was walking away and she was at least like I don't know 10 feet away from her, if she was doing this and the gun went off, it'd be very unlikely that she would have hit her square in the back the
Yeah.
way that she did. You
Hmm.
know, it's
Yeah.
very unlikely. You know,
Yeah.
it
So according to the people that were a couple of rooms, because there was like a whole like grassy area in the middle.
the grassy
Um,
knoll.
according to what this maid that was like out there, I guess like cleaning one of the rooms or whatever, she heard the gunshot, and then looked towards where it came, and she said that she saw a like smaller, like I guess like shorter lady run out of the room after Selena, pointed the gun at her, and then called her the B word. And supposedly that never happened.
Can you please be more specific on what the B word was?
You know the B word.
Called her Beatrice. Obviously, she thought she was dealing with somebody else. It was a
Obviously.
mistake. They're like, "You're not Selena. You're Beatrice."
Hmm. And so she calls her this. Selena runs. The lady says that this never happened. She's like, I never called her that. She was my friend. Why would I call her that? Right?
Why would you shoot
You
her?
shot her. Like, um, so Selena runs away. She ends up making it to the hotel lobby, collapses on the floor, and her last, I guess, like words, like where she was coherent enough, was to tell them, like, lock the door. She's after me. She's gonna shoot me again. And they said, who was it? Trying to get her, I guess, like before she passed out or whatever. And
Yeah.
she said, it's Yolanda. I don't know if she said her last name, so I'll be loud. And she said, it's in room 158, right? So they end up calling the cops. All that happens. They come, they take pictures of the outside. I'm going to show pictures, tiny bit of blood.
Yeah.
So here's that.
This is from an actual crime scene, so you guys
Mhm.
are aware.
So here's the outside of the room. That door is Yolanda's room. There's a little bit of blood on the floor, and this briefcase was Selena's. She dropped it when she was running away. So she ended up, dropping it, running, whatever. Here's the door. This is the only blood that they found, and it was outside of the room. So they were like, she didn't shoot her when she was inside. She shot her when she was
Yeah, she
already
was leaving.
walking out of the door. So that like blood that's going down came from her shoulder, obviously. Um, here's like the side and front view of the door. That's the only blood that they found by the door, by the room. The rest of the blood was leading all the way up until the lobby, and then inside the lobby, obviously, there's like little bits or whatever.
Yeah,
But that's
which
all they found.
which again, if somebody were to, her version of the story makes no sense. The first story that she told, and maybe they told her like this is horseshit because if somebody's walking out of the door, why would you be talking to them doing this with the gun
Mhm.
as they're exiting the door? It makes no
Yeah.
sense. You know?
Another thing was that she went and closed. She like locked herself inside of a red pickup truck, and she
Yeah.
was in there for about 8 hours with like the negotiation team. And they said that they were watching her this whole time. The whole time that she was in there, she was talking. She was like doing all these things inside the truck. She was moving around. She was like hysterical, crying, blah blah blah, and that she had the gun in her hand the whole time. They're like, how is it possible that you waved the gun around very little bit? It went off and hit
You
this
dropped
girl
it.
right, yeah, right in like the shoulder.
Yeah.
She bled out and died. How is it possible that you're in the truck and you're waving it around all over the place and it doesn't go off?
And it doesn't go off, especially in a high
Mm.
stress situation. When I was a kid, and this is what was funny, is again, it's not funny, it's one of those things. Yeah, so there was in Univision, there was the Águila Uno, which is like this helicopter, and en vivo, Águila Uno. And I remember the news and then just the helicopter, and I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, why are they, it's a truck, okay. And and some of the people that were there, like some of the reporters that were on foot, that were kind of watching, they said that she was either, and I don't remember, I'm going off of memory here, and I was a kid. Um, they had said that she was saying like, "I can't believe I shot her. I can't believe I shot her," and she was like mouthing it to him, and she was even saying it in Spanish, "La maté, la maté. ¿Por qué?" Like asking herself, "Why did I do it? ¿Por qué lo hice? Es mi amiga. Why did I?"
There's footage of it. You can find it on YouTube.
And she's like, gun to, doing that. Me mato,
Yeah.
It's a lighter, guys. It's a lighter.
So it doesn't even work. So
Is that a fuel?
Yeah, she's doing all that, whatever. She's going all crazy, talking on the phone with this negotiator. His name's Larry. He's in that documentary. Gets super emotional, and he's like, she sounded genuine. She just shot somebody. Like, obviously, she's gonna be upset.
Well, yeah, she's in distress.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they say never interview a person if they're distressed, because the recollection of things, you got to talk to them. That's why when somebody commits a crime and they go to interrogate you, they're not going to interrogate you when you're like, instead they leave you in there for like 20 minutes, letting you like mellow out, and then they'll talk to you.
Yeah. So her whole thing was, she never said that it was an accident until Larry was like, accidents happen. After that was when she started, it was an accident. It went off by itself, like blah, blah, blah. In the beginning, she was just saying, I didn't mean to. So after they end up getting her out of the truck, whatever, one of the investigators says that they're interrogating her. And they're like, why did you shoot her? Blah, 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 right? And she's like, I don't know. It was an accident. And then he says that he'll never forget that she said, fue de coraje.
Okay.
And he was like, excuse me? So it was out of anger. Is what she said. And he says that he'll never forget that she said that. And of course, she's saying, like, I never said that. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know if it was recorded. I think it was not recorded. And what they did instead was write everything down.
I think she said that in court.
What?
Fue de coraje.
He said that she said it during the interrogation process, and that they don't have a recording of it because instead of recording, they just like transcribed everything.
They transcribed it. So when I was a kid, they had even the trial of Yolanda, and they were like talking about like what she was saying, and they had the famous like somebody drew it, and they showed like posing different things, and like the court, and there's a guy pointing at her, and they were reading off of what's said, and then one of the things that they said is, y ella dijo que fue de coraje, que no estaba en sus sentidos, no estaba en sus cinco sentidos. She wasn't in her five senses. She wasn't, she did it out of anger. She didn't mean to.
It's a bunch of crap. So she goes to court. They end up charging her, obviously, with murder.
Yeah.
She gets 30 years to life for the murder. So here's that. She was eligible for parole this year.
You know who she looks like?
Who?
Have you ever seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah, part of it.
Remember the old man that was in a wheelchair and he couldn't talk? He was just like, ding, 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 ding. Bring that guy up.
I don't know. What's even his name? I don't know how to bring that up.
Just look up like wheelchair old man Breaking Bad.
So.
And tell me that doesn't look like her.
So, yeah, she was eligible for parole. Oh, in like the middle of the desert or whatever.
Yeah. He's like, ding, 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 ding. Yep, that guy. Something that doesn't look like her. That's her.
Yeah.
How did you get in a wheelchair, bitch?
She was eligible for parole in 2025. She went March 27th. They said, no, you're still a threat to public safety. Also, it was very brutal what you did. And still in jail. It's so fucking awful. So anyway, she's in prison. Now, very quickly, we're going to touch on a scandal, and then we're going to close the show. Yeah.
So.
Oh, the scandal.
The scandal. Okay, so and this is coming from this
From her,
guy, from
from
her
her
and
and him.
this guy. So there was a surgeon who was originally Brazilian. I think he had businesses in Monterrey,
Something like
right?
that. Yeah.
He had businesses in Monterrey, and he said that when Selena first met him, she felt free, and they immediately fell in love. He went to a concert, took his daughters, and they were both married at this time. And he says that she was just free because her family was so controlling and her life was so controlling, and they were legitimately in love. And he said that he had pictures, he had videos, and he went in 2012, was it?
Yeah.
To a news station, and he showed them
12 or 14.
12 or 14. I think it was 12. I think it was 12. Went and he showed them. Geez, mosquito bit me. The hell did you get in the house?
Peter.
Yeah. So this person had a photo. He had a photograph of them together. And he's like, I have a lot of pictures of us together, being romantic with each other. Do you have the photo?
I don't.
Um,
Is it up somewhere?
I think it's
the only picture that I saw of them where they were like it was like a side hug situation.
Yep, that was it. That was the picture he brought.
That's not romantic.
No, it looks like she's standing next to a fan. And
you don't side hug your like partner unless you just like meet them for the first time at the airport.
Yeah. So it looked like she was standing next to a fan, but next to a legitimate like house fan, like and she just stood there next to it. But then there's hundreds of pictures of people with Selena, and then that's how they're standing. It's like, was she in love with everybody else?
Yeah, with everybody.
So, but then here we go. The fucking media is so interested in having a scoop. We have the actual scoop. They said, and if you want, you can watch this on YouTube. They said, no, así se ven como que ustedes estaban enamorados. Like that picture, what kind of shitty relationship do you have? That this is what love looks like to you. You know,
absolutely.
It's insane. And then the dad came out and he was like, no, absolutely not. And they said he kept meeting with her. They kept having like these secret meetings. But then again, if you're trying to open a business in a certain region and this person has the place that you're going to go, like, yeah, of course you're going to keep going to meet business. And she took people with her. Like it wasn't Yolanda.
Yolanda went one time, and she said supposedly she's like, I'm keeping all her secrets, and I never told her family, including the husband. She's like, I never told them because I didn't want to betray her trust. Like, oh, you won't betray her trust, but you'll shoot her.
But you'll shoot her. But also, in one of those instances, her brother went with him. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, she took her brother. I think she took her husband. It's just it's sick, and this, I think she was just trying to find popularity, trying to find, like, she's just bored. You're gonna rot in prison, and you killed somebody, and of course the narrative you want to be is like, you know what, this person was shitty. Like, no, like, yeah, everybody knows it's bullshit. That's why this supposed surgeon only went on a show once and then said it once and then just kind of like left it alone. He's like, I'm gonna respect her wishes and I'm not gonna bring it again. Then why would you go on TV with it?
Yeah, after that he like declined any, like people would ask for comments and he would just nope.
Yeah, like no, I'm gonna respect her really by airing out supposedly your dirty laundry. Okay,
that's ridiculous.
So anyway, I don't buy it. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm going off of like from what I've seen. I didn't know her personally. I mean, I was 44. I was like way older than her. We would have nothing in common.
I was 3, so
yeah, 3, 44. Like, yeah, huge age gaps. So anyway, that's it. That was the murder of Selena.
Yeah, I wanted to focus more on the type of person that she was more than this
than the actual crime.
Lady. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Here's the stuff that she got after she died. Entertainer, vocalist, album of the year, pop album of the year, song of the year, favorite Latin artist, and then she got on the Latin Music Hall of Fame and the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah, her brother back there looks like Tyler Perry. Looks like he's
Oh,
gonna go put on a. Looks like he's gonna go put on a Medea costume. Like, what in the hell are we doing out here? Look at it. It's hot out here. Look at all these damn people.
have you watched those movies?
Oh yeah,
They're funny.
yeah, they're great.
Anyway,
Anyways, that's it, guys. What a great episode. Such a and it's one of those things that that you um that you watch or you read about, and then it brings you back to, like, I'll be honest with you. When I was a kid,
mm-hmm.
I used to think that Selena was so pretty,
Oh,
and I was like,
anyway.
I'm gonna kiss her one day.
You did not. You did not.
No,
Don't start that.
she died.
Oh, stop it.
That's why I didn't. Otherwise,
No, okay, yeah, that's why. All right.
so anyway, so that's it, guys. It's just like it's sad because I just remember hearing the story. There used to be a mall in
So, like when you were younger, and here in the U.S.,
Mhm.
was that like a thing, like that music, or was it different
Yeah,
for? Because like
it
you're
was.
not Mexican, so I don't know if like
So I I was in Los Angeles, and it's a heavily black and
Yeah.
Hispanic area.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember seeing classmates of mine, like Hispanic girls, even some of the black girls, they would come to school and they were wearing like Selena shirts. They had the big hoop earrings, just like Selena, because she would wear those. Even to this day.
She just had such a big impact. Look at this. She put this stuff. They put this stuff up for her in Corpus.
Yeah, that's
That's where she's
crazy.
from. Like it's just crazy. All the people that she was able to,
Even to this very day, whenever I see those big hoop earrings, I'm like, what the hell are you trying to be, Selena? Whenever so,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was that there was little black girls that didn't speak Spanish, but they could sing the songs in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
there was a paletero. Do you remember those paleteros? Yeah, the paleteros, like little brown guy, ring ring, and he was pushing his thing. They sold Selena trading cards with like Selena popsicles. This was when she was alive, you
Uh-huh.
know.
Yep.
And so I
There was
remember,
Selena
okay,
everything. When she wasn't alive, there was Selena everything.
yeah. So when I was a kid, there was a mall. It was called La Curacao, and La Curacao was gonna have Selena show up. And I remember very specifically, people said, "Be sure to bring things to autograph because she will."
Mm-hmm.
Because that was her reputation. They talked about how she went to an opening to some place and she showed up, and she stayed an extra 4 hours signing shit, meeting
Crazy.
people, and they're like, she's still here.
So she was so young, which is crazy that like the artists and the even like the TikTokers and YouTubers and stuff that are her age now, like they think so highly of themselves that they go to these like their events or whatever, and like they have their security and like they want to charge for autographs and like all these. And she was the same age as them, even younger, and she was
And
doing these
bigger
things. Mm-hmm.
and good,
Yeah,
and she would stay
super
four
good. Everybody
hours.
go listen to Selena right now.
Yeah, go listen to a Selena song, and if you don't like it, you're a fucking liar.
All of them, and then comment your favorite one.
Comment your favorite one. Also, for a free giveaway, I want you guys to guess the secret word of the show and put it in the comments. I'll give away a shirt
A shirt.
with me dressed as Selena. I'm kidding. Just
Geez.
I'll pick the shirt. So.
0 comments.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that. I don't want that shit. I don't want nightmares. Anyway, that's it, guys. So this episode was brought to you by Lottie. Lucky Loot, 10% off your first purchase. Yeah, Lucky Loot. Yeah, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Lucky Loot for your
A little
first?
bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You guys watch this enough. Also by supporters of the show, friends of the show, Shaun Burris. Shadow Nation podcast. So check out his stuff. Groceries and Ghosts. He's recording episodes this week. He was recording episodes. He was busy the week before, but now he's back at it. So stay tuned for that. Also by what is it? Paranormal Unveiled with static, static voices. Nate, he released a book, so go ahead, check it out. You're done with it, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
liked it.
it was pretty good, huh?
I'm not super into like paranormal things, but I will admit that I've downloaded when I was younger. Downloaded like those weird little like ghost hunting apps or whatever, like for your house, because if nobody has heard before, my house, I'm pretty sure
Is
has some
haunted.
things in it.
You
Yeah,
should release those
so
videos.
I should
Yeah.
record more audio.
Yeah, audio, just walking around. Is anybody here? Be sure to use
Oh,
that broken tape
remember the
recorder.
one I sent you?
Yeah, that was
The
crazy.
weird little voice.
Um,
Um,
anyway, as Nate would say, check out my stuff. So that's one of those things that you're gonna read my book and it'd be like, wow, oh man, I can be a paranormal investigator too.
it was pretty good.
It's pretty good. So thanks for the book, man. Also, he's got coffee coming out soon, so I'll let you guys know how that goes. So I'm waiting for my bag. Wait for your bag too. Anyway, so that's it, guys. Is that it? Oh, my merch. Go ahead and head on over to TeePublic, get a shirt, get a mug. I got some new designs up, so go ahead and check that shit out.
I had the mug in here earlier, but I took it downstairs.
Well, there's that. So thanks for letting us down. So that's it, guys. And remember, guys, to always look both ways, especially when you find yourselves como la flor.
Jeez.